Hello one and all, this is Chris with Game Gumshoes. Today I want to present to you Befuzzled. It's a game by FunQ games. It's for ages 7 and up and can be played anywhere between 3 and 8 people. The reason you need 3 people is you need participants and you need someone to play a judge. In case you're wondering, it is partially a card game, but it's mostly a party game. It's really fun to play with the kids, and actually we found that you can play it with adults as well. The whole key behind this is you have 3 types of cards. You've got an action card, you have the shape card, and you have a flip card. Now with the shape cards, see the star? You have 8 different shapes. And they're laid flat out on the table, and then someone else takes a deck of action cards, shovels them up, and places actions with each of the different shapes. So you'll have up to 8 actions per turn, and I think there's enough to do 3 or 4 rounds without having to repeat if you don't want to. There are things like raise your right hand. Okay, raise your left hand. Where is it? There it is. Yes, and this is how I do it at the places we do games too. Raise your right hand. To go with that, raise your left hand. You also have things like touch your nose. Make sure that gets in there. You also have things like knock on the table, slightly more physical than the other ones. There are also vocal ones too, so you can do things like bark like a dog, or kind of thing, and then things like say "arr" like a pirate. Now there are also things like saying the name of the game, saying the name of the judge, whoever's judging that particular round. And then on top of that, things like making bunny ears, because every kid loves to make bunny ears. Like I said, very fun to play. Get your kids a copy of this. Let them try it out. There are certainly plenty of game companies out there that allow you to sit there and try out games. If you're in the Cincinnati area, you can always contact us, and we don't mind setting up at game shops, coffee shops, places like that, and sit around playing with everybody. Now the reason this game stood out to us was we imagined the production of the game. When they made it, what were they thinking? Well, my wife reminded me that there was a game called Kreskin's ESP. Now, you might not think much of Kreskin's ESP because it's such an old game, but this game was kind of a precursor in a way to the Ouija board. Don't know if you can see it. There you go, Kreskin's ESP. Now what you have here is you have a big area, and that's got your alphabet. You got your little area, that's your numbers. And then the crosshairs box, that's your yes, no, and however. Now, unlike the Ouija board where it's got the little placard thing, Kreskin's ESP has a pendulum. And you basically hover it over there and you use your ESP abilities to make it move and, determine, whether or not you're actually psychic. Kreskin's ESP also came with a lovely chart so people could test whether or not you actually had psychic abilities. I think that's pretty funny there. You may have noticed it on a movie or once or twice. Now, the deck also utilizes cards. And might look a little familiar. Flip card, card. Now, in the actual ESP decks, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different colors. You got the black, you have orange, yellow, green, blue, and red. Now, this has a lot more shapes than, say, the Befuzzled game, because the Befuzzled only has 8. But, you know, it has the same range. It's got the triangle, square, circle, cross, all that fun stuff. Just like, yeah, see, it's kind of crazy like that. But if you get a chance, you can get, like I said, Befuzzled at your local game store. It's also available online. There should be a review on the main website, which you can go there and click the link to go directly to them. The Kreskin game, that's out of print. He was famous back when Johnny Carson was still running the Tonight Show. But, you know, you may be able to check eBay, places like that, old game stores, antique malls, and come up with a copy of it if that's what you want. Now, the ESP decks are available through Bicycle. There are many places where you can buy decks of cards. Flea markets, the actual stores themselves, or contact US Playing Cards, and maybe they can tell you where to get it yourself. It's a very specialized deck. You're not going to find this at like Walmart or Kmart or Kroger's. You've got to go to very special places to get this, and you may want even to go to again, eBay, Amazon, places like that. Not promoting any one store over the other, but me personally, I like the little stores. So I'm going to go here in Cincinnati. I would go to Haynes House of Cards. They are the places that I would go for any of this stuff. Mostly because you know, they deal in Magic and card games, or card manipulation tricks. So that's great for this. Hopefully I was somewhat entertaining, not boring. Go ahead and leave any reviews you might have about the review, oddly enough. And, you know, we'll try to make them better as we go. And hope to see you again next week.